Okay, welcome back everybody to Let's Paint TV. I'm your host, Mr. Let's Paint. It is Comic Book Week here. And we're going to start it off with a Sergeant Fury comic book. I don't know shit about this book. I don't know shit about this. I was just given these fucking comic books from someone who's not around on this planet anymore. So I was sort of inherited them, and I try to sell these on the internet, on eBay. No one wants them. Okay, welcome back everybody to Let's Paint TV. I'm your host, Mr. Let's Paint. Okay, welcome back everybody to Let's Paint TV. I'm your host, Mr. Let's Paint. Comic Book Week. Comic Book Week here.
Please turn down your
Comic
volume.
Book Week. Comic Book Week here. And we're gonna start it off with let's figure out some of these things. I got to get some coffee here, and let's get some camera shots up and running for you here. Given these fucking comic books from someone who's not around on this planet anymore, inherited them. I try to sell these on the internet. Okay, that's one step down for humanity. One great leap for mankind. Let's get this up and running here. Let's take a call on the program. Hello, caller. You're on Let's Paint TV.
Hi, is this John?
Yeah, this is John. Yeah, this is Mr. Let's Paint.
I'm a first-time caller, so I'm not sure how the format works.
Oh well,
do you have any
yeah.
suggestions on what?
Well, I'm happy to talk to you about whatever. Today we're going to be painting. We already have figured out what we're going to paint, so I guess that's.
I'm sorry, can you? I can't really hear you. You're very low.
Yeah, my mic just dropped away from my mouth area. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, so what would you like to know, or what's going on? I don't know. We're going to paint today a painting of a comic book. Some of my comic books we're going to try to paint today. So,
are you gonna, like how comic books have that printing process called half-toning?
Okay, half-toning, sure.
Are you gonna try to do the half-toning, or is it just gonna be like a kind of a complete interpretation, or like through watercolor?
Yeah,
watercolor. I'm sorry, oil.
Yeah, we're gonna use oils. Yeah, oils.
I can't really hear you.
Okay. And it's just gonna be how it goes about. I mean, it's not gonna be it's not. I don't think I'm gonna go like Roy Lichtenstein or nothing here. I'm just gonna be more straight ahead, straight no chaser kind of thing. Just paint what I see kind of deal.
Oh, can I ask for advice? Is that?
Yes, yeah, that's what we're here for every day, Monday through Friday. Happy to field any kind of questions or anything like that.
All right. So I think what I will ask about is I'm 17.
17.
And I'm looking at colleges. I'm sending in applications.
Yeah.
And I just. Well, a couple thoughts go through my head. The first thought is I feel like I'm going to be ripped off by the college system.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, are you going into art? Is that the thing, or?
Yeah, well, what I would consider art, I don't know if there's a debate amongst people, but I want to do TV production.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I don't know, it just feels like maybe a waste of money.
Okay, are you where are you what area are you in? I'm
in North New Jersey.
All right. What about definitely I would say go to college, but just go to a kind of a state school, system where it's sort of free-ish,
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to be, as opposed to going to they have lots of stuff. I don't know. Is it like Rutgers or something like that? Is that a state school? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a state. I was thinking about there's actually I was thinking about state schools. Yeah, there's I actually went to visit one yesterday.
Yeah, I think you can't. I mean, yeah, that's going to set you back to some degree, obviously, if you can stay, by your, stay at home kind of deal and sort of commute that way. Then, that's another route. Maybe, I don't know. It's a tough go because it is asking for money. Ultimately, you still got to pay some money, but the state schools, there's a lot of good ones, and it's considerably less expensive than those private ones. Also, yeah, and then there's also a lot of grants and scholarships that you can apply for. So
definitely. Did you go to a college or a state college or?
Yeah, I did. I went to both a private and a state school for my undergraduate and graduate.
Yeah. I guess, is it okay for a second question?
One more question, yes.
Or, have you ever heard of, so the way I found your show is there's a comedy group called $1 Million Extreme. They're not really around anymore. They got banned from YouTube, so like all their stuff got taken off. But there's a kind of big video they did, and there's this comedy group, and they did like a public access show, and then they like gave you kind of like credit at the end as like special thanks. And I don't know if that matters, but I wonder if there's people who listen or know about that group that found you that way.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I gotta say, I'm sort of familiar with it, but I can't quite place what it is or what happened or what it is. I've heard that name for some reason. So they're not around anymore.
Well, actually, I'm gonna hopefully actually edit some stuff for them.
Oh, okay.
But they did get taken off YouTube because I don't know. Supposedly, I don't even know what happened. Yeah. I think they made like a fake tutorial for some computer stuff.
Oh, nice.
People got mad.
Yeah.
So well. Do you mainly paint oil?
Yeah, I'm predominantly oil, but I will sometimes break out the watercolors. I'm somewhat proficient in watercolors, but I just don't like them as much as oil. So oil is sort of my forte.
Do you know anything about color grinding? Because I was trying to read about color grinding and like making your own pigments. Do you do that? Have you heard of people who do that?
Yeah, I know people do it, but it's just another, it's another step that I don't feel like I want to, get so involved in. It's too much preparation, and I don't have time in my life to be, maybe I should, but I haven't entered that force field yet.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry for asking extra questions.
That's all right. We're just sort of waking up. It's Monday. We're getting going here. All right. Hey, thanks for calling, man. Good luck with that. Yeah, don't going to school's good, man. Just stay in school as long as possible, I'd say.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I mean, it's a catch-22. I mean, how about this? Why don't you go to Germany or I think Finland? Some of these other countries have free education. Yeah, believe it or not, which is pretty awesome. And but your only best bet otherwise is go to the state schools. They are considerably cheaper. So that's what I would recommend, and you can get a pretty good education that way. It's relatively, I would say, obviously Steve Jobs did not go to art school, or he didn't ever graduate, and all this stuff. But a lot of famous, successful people, don't go to art school. Yeah, right, for sure. But also just regular school, university stuff. But I think it's pretty good to do for the most part, I guess. However, if you are interested strictly in television and film and all that, you could conceivably just take the bus out to California or I guess New York or wherever, and just start interning for various production companies, and you could just do that anyway, in conjunction with going to school, possibly, or do that first, then go to school. I mean, you're only 17 years old. Okay, I'm gonna get some coffee, and we're gonna start painting. All right, just a second.
Yeah, right, for sure. But also just regular.
What do I got going on here? I still got the audio.
I think it's
I
pretty
turned
good
it down, or
too,
what's going on?
for the most part, I guess.
I'm still
However,
hearing.
if you are interested strictly in television and film and all that,
Why
you
am
could
I getting?
conceivably
All right.
just
That's what it was. It was an extra window open. Okay, let me get some coffee and water. Right. All right, we're back again with another exciting show for you today. Okay, 818-528-4516. We're gonna try. Okay, where is this window of opportunity? What is going on? Here we go. Here we go. Boom. Okay. So the idea is we're going to paint this painting, a portrait of this comic book. And just going to copy it in a sense. Though certain aspects are going to prevail, how accurate do we want to be? You know, or should we take liberties to doing something else with it than just being in the depiction mode? So these are things we're going to have to consider. And right now we're just going to, but I'm just going to copy it. It's not rocket science. I don't have to do any thinking here, really. Well, I guess I do, but I don't have to do too much, except for look at what I got and paint it. Now we could, in some respects, in some aspects, some relationship aspects. We could make it the same size. That would be kind of interesting, actually, frankly. And if we do that, All right, I got a new idea, which is kind of fun. I'm going to get a pencil. Now, this is something I totally don't do. I don't generally do this when it comes to painting. But I'm going to use a pencil to sketch out this painting. I'm not really sure why. Why am I doing that? I don't know. I started feeling like I wanted to do that. What I want to do is let's try to draw it out first. Let's draw it out and then paint it in. or paint in partially. I'm not, now here's the thing, I'm not going to be drawing it out at a, you'll see. I'm not, let me get a pencil first. Let's find a pencil. I don't even keep one around. That's how much I use pencils. Let's find a pencil somewhere around here. I got one around here somewhere. Just a matter of looking and keeping your eyes open. Okay, I got this nice pencil here. Let's try this out. So my idea is, this is paper. This is again the oil paper. And what I'm going to do here is, because I kind of like the idea basically, and this is why I come up with this idea, is I like the idea of making it the same size. And I have, would be nice is if I had some blue tape, but I don't. I don't have any blue tape available, so we're just going to have to go. Shoot, and I made it crooked. That's all right. I'll come back in with that later on. We'll fix some of this problem maybe with the paper, with the pens. So let's just kind of block in. Now I like I said, I could and I should be blocking in with paint. I just I thought maybe it'd be kind of fun to kind of use a pencil, a little bit of pencil work. But this is gonna more than likely cause a new development in terms of what's going on, and I'm not so certain I care to devote a whole much. This is a perfect example of why I don't like to do too much work with a pencil when I'm just going to be painting over it. Anyway, but here's what I'll say, and caller asked, well, is this all oil paint, or I mean, where do you use and this and that, and do you use oil? Oh, what's that? You know, all that kind of stuff. And oh, jeez. What I don't like already is I need to be able to raise this easel. This easel is too low for me, and so see, all this stuff that I'm doing right now I could be doing with paint, and that's why I'm not a big fan of using the pencil or devoting so much attention to working with a detailed drawing. So now, getting back to the idea of using or doing watercolor, a lot of times people start off with some kind of a drawing in their watercolor. And again, I would stress that you go ahead and make that a looser developed drawing as opposed to a more accurate drawing, because again, we're going to use oil paints, or in that case, watercolor. And so you don't need, you want to just see. There's no point going any further with that. For me, that's as far as we're going to go with it. There's really no point in that. You're watching Let's Paint TV, guys. Thanks again for being here every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 12 noon. Pacific Standard Time, through thick or thin, through lack of inspiration and inspiration. We are happy to be here with you on the program. 818-528-4516 is the number. And what we need to do now is get our brushes out and put our paint brushes on. Seems like it kind of goes back and forth for being hot and cold. That's the time of year, man. You take some vitamin C if you can. because this is a great time to get feel shitty, and that's no fun. So take your vitamin C and whatever else you feel like would be preventative. I recommend, highly recommend it. The changes in the seasons. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, so there we have it. I might do away with this whole idea of putting a border because it just seems no. I don't want to be restricted. Excuse me. I don't want to be restricted, and screw that, you know? So, let's get some paint out somewhere over here. I have my bag of paints. I brought it in, specially in for today's show. And let's get started here. And like I said, I'm going to do away with that whole aspect. I'm not going to worry about what I just drew. Screw that. Screw the drawing. And let's get to the fun. Let's get to the fun of the process. This is oil-based. This is oil paint, and what I'm working on is this very interesting oil paper. Something it's been around for probably thousands of years, and or at least hundreds, and I've never used it. So it's kind of interesting in that department. Now it's complex. This is a complex imagery here. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and mainly it's an outer space scene. Maybe we could zoom in just a tad bit, I guess, if that would help. I'm not certain it would or wouldn't, but I think you could probably go a little closer in, couldn't you? Where are we? I can't even see where we are. Where is the show? The show's there. I am. All right. Can you see good enough, or should I zoom in? I could probably. Let me just zoom in just a tad bit more here. Okay, there you're going to get a better. And I'll tell you what, let me do something else. Let's see if we can pull this off, because this would be kind of fun for you to see. So let me go in here to this camera shot, and what I got to do is get another source if I can. Yeah. What I want to do is I want to go there. Okay. And then who is B? Placeholder B is, oh, I see, I gotta use, okay, what I gotta do is, how do we're just trying to get some fun graphics here. Fade in, scale out, apply to all, no. Yeah, hello caller. Yeah,
I'm sorry for calling back in, but can you talk about the comic book and why you chose that one?
All right, I'll be happy to. Okay. Okay, thanks for the call. There he goes. I'm trying to get this thing here, and I did mention why I'm using this particular comic book. And if you watched the beginning of the program, I mentioned what the story was. These comic books I was given by I inherited them in a sense from a friend who passed away. I have no specific. I've never read. I'm not a comic book fan. I could care less about comic books for the most part. But they visually, are pretty fantastic. And so they're worth they're worth painting. Now, if I can just figure this thing out here, if you guys just bear with me, I'm trying to do something here, but I don't know if I can, because I'm not sure I know what I'm doing. How do I get this to work? Well, I don't even know what this B is. How do I know? How do I attribute B to? See, I'm trying to do something that I should have maybe figured out beforehand. However, oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, a little smaller. But who is it? I need to know, who are we depicting here? We want to go round, oval. Yeah, oval. Nice. Okay, we go oval. Okay, like that. Let's go a little bigger then. Shoot. Where was I? There. Let's go a little bigger now. Now, how am I going to attribute? Who am I attributing? All right. It's okay. I'm all right. Apply. That's fine. But who are you? Oh, shoot. Now, oh, crap. Now I'm already screwed up here. As you can see, we're getting screwed up here. Just kind of letting you know what I'm trying to do here, which is not working. Okay, no, I don't want, I want you to be A. Yeah, then placeholder B is B. But did that do it? Okay. Nothing like screwing up the continuity of the program. Shoot. How do we get somebody into B? How do we do that? I know, I used to know how to do this. Apparently, I don't know anymore how to do this. Okay, there's something there. Now, how do I apply a source to B? If that's what I got. I got B. How do I get B in there? Shoot. This is not working out at all. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm getting it. Enough trial and error. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now I gotta somehow switch it back. Oh, well, I know. This guy has to be bigger somehow. Okay, we're on to something here, guys, as you can see. But I'm not. What I need to do is get the scale. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's go over here. Where's my scale here? You got to go bigger, but I'm not getting any bigger for some reason. Let's see. What kind of guys am I doing here? A should be big. Why? Boom. Okay. Hello. Now we're talking. This is what we were talking about. Okay, now I need to get this guy to somehow go here. See? Wouldn't that be fun if I was like there? Now we got to figure this out. I don't know if we can. All right. Now let's move him over here, because I'm sort of in the way now. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave you here. That's all right. No, that's not good. There. Shoot. Is that gonna work? How are we gonna get this to work? Because this camera doesn't really work very good. But it is an option. Let's see if we got that. Oh. There's my head there. Hey. All right, let's see if I can move it just a tad bit here. We're doing some high-tech TV stuff going on here. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, this shit ain't working. Well, it could. It could. Come on now. Don't give up now. Don't give up. It's just a matter of moving it. Oh, shit. Okay. Is that better? No. Where are we? There. I'm way over here, so I need to go a little bit here and down. How about that? That's better. Okay, that's gonna work for all intents and purposes. Okay. All right, back to the program, 818-528-4516. Really getting nowhere, and yet we are. Slowly but surely we are. All right, back to the painting here. Let's just get some more paint down here. Get it going. Just like that. All right, 818-528-4516. There's nothing, I have no connection, like I said. I think, though I do recall, isn't there a movie out now about Sergeant Fury? Isn't there a movie starring, what's his name? I do believe that is out right now. So that could have, but that was just by chance. It was the comic book that was on the stack of comic books that I had. And in a sense, like I said, this is complicated. This has a lot of complexities that I need to, we're going to have to consider, think about. But having said that, we can simplify as we are right now. We're sort of simplifying things. And you see how I got rid of the idea. I would have been back a mile. I would have been a mile behind, 2 miles behind, if I stayed with my drawing idea of, well, I'm going to draw first. Let's get some yellow. I need some yellow because we're short on yellow, so let's get some yellow. Where are the chats? I'm kind of look over on the chats here because I don't have them offhand. Let's take a look what's going on. Oh, not much going on. Okay, fantastic. You're watching Let's Paint TV. We are in the midst of a week of painting comic books. At least that is the idea. Though we may change it up and not do it. Okay, but it's an interesting premise, and we're taking a break from painting baseball cards, which we'll go back to, I guess. I mean, we should, or we could, or anyway, it's something I thought about doing, so that's what I'm doing. Hi, how are you? Great. Okay, so now I got kind of the black everywhere that I think black is kind of there. Now there is kind of a light yellow, white areas in quite a lot of the areas. Now that's going to mix with the black, so we don't want that so much, but a little bit won't be so bad. Won't be the end of the world. And let's cut it with a more white if we can. And it needs a lot more white. Just kind of get it all, wherever we think white is, let's just do it. White, yellow, that is. And that's turning into a green, but we'll kind of somehow deal with that as we go along. Okay, it still needs some more dark, so let's hit more dark in the background. And I'm using paper towels and a kind of a mid-sized brush to get most of the paint done here, if you notice. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm just, it's kind of, I got kind of a more of a purpley base. It's not really exactly, you know, don't feel like you need to have it. It's not always necessary, though it could be for you. Again, there is no right way to do this. And that is the beautiful thing about the process of painting and doing stuff in the creativity land. In fact, you're better off discovering your own strategies, what you enjoy doing. You're going to be much more content with that. If we just treat this, simplify this as what it is, and that is lots of different colors bouncing around, and we're kind of battling with putting one color on top of the other color, which is kind of one of the more ongoing battles you have with painting, in a sense. One of the many battles, a lot of battles in painting. How much do you want to control that? How much do you want to control anything is definitely an ongoing issue. I got that blue. Where else is there that kind of baby blue? Let's put it there on the various spots that we see. Just like that. And I'm using that one kind of blue that's just not very good. Now this is like a spaceship thing. So let's kind of get that in there. Yeah, in a sense, we're kind of, I would say abstracting, or you know, just we're condensing shapes, simplifying the what we're seeing here. Okay, let's make some purple, and have sort of a purpley. Put some white on that. This is a figure. And so the question is, yeah, why this comic book? As I mentioned, I inherited these. I try to sell these on the internet, on eBay. There's no value to them, but I realized that besides the fact that, you know, yeah, there's no value to them, they are still visually fascinating things for reference. To paint from, or to use as reference to paint. Now, if I think of these as a still life, think of this as a still life. That's the way I think of these when I did the record covers and, you know, the baseball cards. They're still lifes because I'm basically looking at them in that regards. Okay, now it's got a lot of stuff going on here. You can't possibly have it all, get it all, figure it all out. Let's bring this guy over a little bit more, because this guy has to come back over here. And so we could spend all day getting it to work. Let's bring you down even further. But it's a painting, and as such, we are free to do so many, we have so many possibilities in that realm. We can do just so much with it. Now, you know, we could have went the route of the drawing and staying within the drawing and all that. I mean, it still would have been okay. It just would have taken forever. and we don't always have, at least I don't feel like I have forever. I feel like I don't have the patience. And I also, besides that, I really enjoy the fact that the way the paint is laid down, the way I do it. I'm kind of addicted to this process of application of the paint. And you just don't, it takes forever to get to this point when you work with a detailed drawing, because you have to put that detailed drawing in there, and you're being all careful. We don't see this route. You don't have to be careful about what the hell you're doing, because we're painting and drawing at the same time, basically. Boom, boom. Wet into wet is my kind of prerogative, my liking. Let's get some red in there, because there's some red in here and there. Helmets, we got some red helmets. I guess these are the bad people. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they look like bad people, don't they? They sure look mean. And it can be wrong. This can be wrong. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to line up correctly. Not in my world. Some red things shooting in the sky. Okay, we got to do the lettering here. Let's get the guides. I guess this is the star of the, and they're in green. They're in green. So let's just get a couple. There's a few of them. Hit it more with white. That green is too strong, so we need to lighten it up with some white. Okay, there's one figure. There's the main figure here. Guess he's the sergeant, I'm guessing. Let's work some darks. Hi, Cynthia. Yeah, it's just another one of my many projects, but it's been in the works, and it's just time to try to do something with these. I have a whole bunch of these comic books. Like I said, I tried to sell these and try to get rid of them, and there's no value to them on the open market, and that's a good thing, see, because now I'm making something out of it that you would not have. It's like, wow, had I sold them and got, like, say $100, oh wow, I got $100 for that, then I wouldn't be painting this right now. So it's a good thing, I guess, in a sense. Maybe it's a great waste of time. That's good too. That's good too if it's a waste of time. Doesn't have to be always a winning formula. You don't have to have it all figured out. Okay, there's this guy here. Okay, his head is down there. That's all right. Doesn't have to make any sense. And in fact, we can just start closing in the areas that we haven't resolved with just some color, and fill in the blanks with anything we got, just for why not, though it's questionable. You could actually leave some of that canvas showing through. It doesn't need to be resolved. However, I do find myself doing that, but it is not imperative one way or the other. Anyway, this is extremely multi-complicated. Ultimately is what I'm trying to say. It's complicated. A lot of stuff going on here is what I'm trying. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, and because of that, we are could get bogged down about really getting it all to make sense, and really, if we just think about the simplification factor, you're going to be better off in terms of finding some sort of results, an end game. Okay, I need a little more water. Yeah, I need some water and some white. More white. Oh. Now, can we resolve this in a quicker than this is getting it's a complicated thing to work with, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it. Okay, here's my only good little teeny tiny brush to work with. And I don't need that brush yet, so let's hold off on the little brush. We just needed more white. Let's get some more white wherever we need it. Or let's go to the small. There's a lot of little dots for the stars, but let's not worry about those right now. What we need to do is put the lettering in. Okay. So we got the W. What if? Sergeant Fury. There is a movie out now, isn't there? Well, yeah, exactly. It's Mario. It is not. It was comic books were never my. Was never really interested in them, and yet of course I had ended up having a few of them, either by me collecting them in a sense, but acquiring them in other means, and yeah. And I was talking to Brian, or Brian was mentioning, well, it's really, great that you, in terms of the baseball cards, oh, well, that this is something that you really loved and that's you're painting it. But on the, in the same token, something that you could care less about, if it's visually stimulating, it's visually stimulating. It does, and having really no connection to it is okay. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't have to have always. It can help, but it also, if you're too close to something, it also could be kind of somehow, in that sense, it could cause some problem there too. Let's put a figure in there. Now this was pretty complicated, and it's still complicated, but I'm feeling like we are solving a lot of problems quicker than I thought, and I was a little bit there for a second, feeling a little overwhelmed, and maybe I'll go back to that thought, but I'm on I guess on a roll in terms of, hey, we're going to get this done in the next few minutes, or go a little further into it. But this I keep calling it watercolor paper, oil paper, does not take. It does. The paint seems to seep in a little bit more than I'm used to, and we just have to get used to that idea of it doing that. Here, let's get this one here. Is this the little brush? Yeah, it is. This is the littlest brush I got at the moment, or I have a smaller brush, but I am not really. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what we're doing. Just sort of fine-tuning a lot of this, what we're seeing. Yeah, Michael. That's right, Taylor. Yeah, these are from Michael Hollywood Divine. You remember Michael Hollywood Divine? What a character he was. From Cable Access. Get some black. Now the tendency, yeah, would be to make this very accurate. But, as you can see, the beauty is that it's not, and it's just a bunch of color bouncing around. Okay, yeah, I forgot that you hung out with him a bit. Yeah, he was a good friend for a few years for me. Get some of these dots, these stars. And so you can see, if you line this up, you can see that this does not connect. It is not at all what is supposed to be there. But it is, but you can kind of clearly tell that it is somehow connected. It's referencing. So we'll take that. I like that. I like the suggestion. I like making a suggestion as opposed to being so all. But the thing is, now I guess you could say, well, you have a good start here. Now you need to go further and further and further and further and further. And you could. It's true, we could. But we will then lose some of the freedoms that we have acquired from this approach. So I guess the problem is to know when to stop sometimes. It's a good question. Don't know. I don't know. But we're getting close. I'm getting close. We're already overrunning a little bit. So we'll probably be, whoops, that happens. Let's get that off too. There you go. Got it all wrong. It's all right though. So many problems. So not correct. And yet, and yet, it's all right. We're okay about it. We're all right. We're going to be all right with it. It's going to be all right. Pink face. Well, that's it. I think that's going to be it. I think I'm going to just say that's it. All right. Thanks again for being here. It's Let's Paint TV. We went a little overtime here today, but we got kind of into it. which I am happy to do. Happy to do so. Anyway, you can kind of sense that there is some connection to what we're seeing, and yet it is completely wrong. We could battle with this some more, but I believe I will call it and say au revoir here with you today on the program. Thanks again here at Let's Paint TV. Comic book week. We're going to do another comic book tomorrow, I believe, unless I'm in a bad mood or I'm inspired to do something entirely different. We are not committed to doing anything in particular, but I guess we might, out of anything else to do, we may be doing another one of these. So until tomorrow, thanks again for being here. Bye-bye.